sports,
Anime.
Media entertainment.
The whole world, look around you. Look at this. We created this.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the same convo, the sport, the podcast where we talk about everything sports, anime, media, and entertainment. This is the media and entertainment segment, and I'm gonna start you guys off with a simple question. We don't really talk about, Marvel or DC or any kind of superheroes, really. I just really wanted to know who was your favorite superhero. You don't have to worry about any limits or anything like that. Marvel, DC, everything is welcome.
Okay. So it doesn't matter if it's Marvel or DC or one of those independent ass waves. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say all time favorite superhero. Like, I'm a Marvel fan. I hate DC movies with a passion, but the only good thing about DC, other than the recent Aquaman, has been the long-standing Batman. Batman has to be my favorite. And yes, Kenny, he's a superhero.
What's his superpower?
Kenny, his superpower is defeating super villains. Fuck you. And he that bread, cuz. But yeah, Batman most definitely. Like there's literally it's just it feels like it's self-explanatory, bro. Like that man, he's so cold. Like that's the Dark Knight. And he technically won't be defeated, and he has a plan to defeat anybody else, even his comrades, bro. Like, that's the coldest. This man is the world's greatest detective, arguably the world's greatest martial artist, the world's greatest mind, got stacks on stacks. He's able to combat superheroes with his mind, his martial arts, his money, and his technology, bro. That's a superhero, and he's the greatest.
What about you, Kenny?
Favorite superhero. Carlo thinks my favorite superhero is Superman. My only argument is that Superman should nowhere near ever lose to Batman. That's just not realistic.
It doesn't make sense yet.
It doesn't make sense.
He's lost, though, several times.
Stupid. Favorite? I never really had a favorite superhero, but if I had to pick one, I think I like Wolverine the most.
Okay, that's solid. Solid.
Not because of his power. He's just a cool ass nigga.
Well, that's solid. I fuck with his sideburns.
That's a good pick. That's a pretty solid pick. But if I had to choose a favorite, I'd have to probably go with Batman too, I think.
Bumble.
But not the last Batman.
Wait, which last Batman? Hold on. I know you. What? He was definitely a better Batman than Ben Affleck.
One thing is for sure, he was throwing hands when he was punching that nigga.
Wait, who did you pick as your favorite Batman?
What's his name?
If we talking about favorite Batman,
Edward?
Every time
about Edward Cullen.
No, he said Edward wasn't his favorite. Like he said, the most recent Batman wasn't. But I'm combating.
He felt more like a vampire than he did a fucking bat.
But that's because he wasn't supposed to be like so.
So not Robert.
Each Batman that we've seen so far in our lifetime, like Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and then Robert Pattinson, he's basically supposed to be year 2 Batman. So he's another version of Batman. That's why he was like that. He was definitely light years better than Ben Affleck. If we talking about favorite Batmans with me and Bamba, I think we can both agree that Christian Bale is that nigga and he will forever be Batman.
It's only Christian Bale, really.
It's only
It's only Christian Bale.
But
I said this nigga is a vampire, and like I really, because Kenny, have you seen it? You haven't seen it yet.
The new Batman, I haven't seen it yet.
I ain't gonna lie, Avengers gonna whoop your ass.
It's a lot. I feel like we can talk about this off camera, but it's a lot. I feel like that happened in this movie that kind of contradicts the story of Batman. But we can talk about that another time, because today I want to talk about a movie that I want to talk about for a minute, and that's the Spider-Man movie, No Way Home.
Bro, Kenny sucks, bro.
I saw it. I've seen it.
I know, but it took you this long to see it. You suck, bro.
Kenny, since you're the last person that's seen it and you have the freshest impression of it, how did you find the movie?
I feel like it was definitely overhyped, 100%. Definitely overhyped. So my main criticisms is this man almost unleashed hell on Earth in his universe because he couldn't go to college with his friends. It didn't even try to call that admissions office. So that's one. Two, I don't think there was enough time with all three all three Spider-Man together where they were just like talking and stuff like that. It wasn't enough of that. And it wasn't enough banter of the three Spider-Man. We had all three Spider-Man together, and their time together just seemed rushed. Granted, there was some dire danger involved, but there could have been more. My next issue was Aunt May died for no fucking reason. Aunt May didn't have to die. If he would have just sent them niggas back to where they were supposed to be, Aunt May would still be alive. She died for the dumbest reason possible. Last issue, Spider-Man was Tom Holland was beating the shit out of Green Goblin. Was literally just, and we all know Spider-Man has super strength. He was full strength punching, beating in his face. This man, Green Goblin, gets up, looks in the camera, not a broken nose, not a blood, not a nothing on his face. I'm just like, were you not just getting the shit beat out of you for 5 straight minutes?
He got some strong bones, bro. I don't know, bro.
You don't have to have strong bones. No. When he fought Tobey Maguire, there was blood and stuff. His mask was tore up, all that. But this man is Spider-Man is punching you dead in the face. Nothing on you, straight skin and bone. And you don't have a bloody nothing? Don't look like you've even been touched. So those are my issues, and the whole fact that everybody forgot him at the end. So now this is a Spider-Man I've never seen before, where literally nobody knows him. He has nobody.
It's another version of Spider-Man, bro. Like, come on.
I don't like it.
Y'all gotta be okay with the different versions of Spider-Man, bro. Y'all can't have the same Spider-Man. Like, your Bomba gotta be okay with a different version of Batman. There's different comics, bro. Like, damn, bro. Like, damn, bro.
I lied. My last criticism was, this was a Spider-Man multiverse. The Spider-Man multiverse belongs to Miles Morales.
No.
That was his story. That was the Spider-Man multiverse was Miles Morales' story.
Yeah, but this doesn't necessarily ruin it.
It's not the same thing.
But it's not all cool and new and like now we've seen the multiverse in the movie in the live action. We don't get that same.
But maybe they just don't want to repeat that same. Maybe they're just gonna bring you a different story when it comes to Miles Morales.
I guess, but we got the animated Miles Morales. It would have been cool to see that in a live action. That's all I'm saying.
Live action. So what you think, Carlo? What you have to say about the movie?
Repeat the question one more time. I know it. I just want you to repeat it one more time, please.
I just want to know. I mean, you've seen the movie. What are your thoughts on it? What criticism do you have for it? And what pros do you see from it?
I know that I did just come back Kenny a little bit. I understand that, but I don't know. I feel like God put me and Kenny on this earth to combat each other no matter what we say. But let me say this. For the first time in the same convo history, I got to go back and look at previous videos. I do feel like I agree with Kenny on most of his criticisms. I agree with Kenny on most of his criticisms about the movie. Basically, Aunt May definitely died for no reason. Like that could have. I would say that's one of the things. Like, let me say this: I enjoyed the movie for sure. Like, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Zendaya's my wife. I love you, baby. Just everything about this new Spider-Man I love. But it was so unnecessary, the shit that he was doing. Like, nobody has that good of a heart, bro. Ain't no way. Like, I want world peace too, but you don't belong here, you don't belong here, you don't belong here, and you damn sure don't belong here.
Bro, Angel was pissed the whole movie. I was sitting there trying to justify it for her. I was like, maybe he's scarred because he just killed Mysterio or has something to do with that. But it's still.
It's just like that whole movie, like, again, was definitely, I was pissed off because he tried to say the villain, like, it literally, the movie could have been 20 minutes if he just sent them all home. I hate that. It just feels like, yes, I understand the Daily Bugle or whatever, and the main guy, like Jonah, whatever, Jefferson, whatever his name is, supposed to paint Spider-Man out as a villain, but he was going the extra mile, bro. Like, he really be OD in it. Like, and that's another reason why
Spider-Man is a menace.
Facts. Like, for what? Taking your fucking, like, again, I agree with Kenny on most of his criticism, but overall, I did enjoy the movie. I do disagree that it's like, huh?
It was a decent movie still. No, the only bad Marvel movie I've seen is Eternal still to this day.
Facts.
What? Yeah, that is facts.
But again, overall, I think it was a great movie, but I agree with Kenny on, again, majority of his criticism.
So what don't you agree with that I said? Let's address that.
What was the last thing you said about Miles being similar to Miles Morales? No, it's, again, y'all have to be okay with there being differences. That's another Spider-Man based on another comic. That's not Miles Morales. Miles Morales will get his, but y'all let Tom Holland have his. I just spit a little bit. Y'all let Tom Holland have his shine, bro.
Yeah, but I think that's a fair argument, especially. I feel like, especially with Marvel, setting up that universe before Miles Morales like really comes into play is kind of important. Because not really the multiverse is not really about Spider-Man necessarily. It's more of Doctor Strange that's allowing all of this, all the mistakes that's happened before it. But I feel like the best part of this movie was really the nostalgia effect of it. Like the few, villains that popped up, and then, the Spider-Mans that we've known. I feel like those were the best parts of it. But that kind of leads me into my next question. I feel like we had this conversation before, but I want to know to y'all, who is the best Spider-Man, and who, not just the best Spider-Man, but the best Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and why?
The question was, well, who's the best Spider-Man and who's the best Peter Parker?
Yep.
Okay, can I go first for this one?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So this is what I kind of like how they did in the movie. So the common order is usually Tobey Maguire,
Andrew Garfield.
No. So it usually goes Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, then Andrew Garfield, or Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield's always last. So they kind of made fun of that in the movie because when it was like Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, he's like, I guess with Spider-Man 3. And he's like, and then Andrew Garfield's like, I love you guys. And nobody showed him any love. So they was making jokes about nobody liking Andrew Garfield Spider-Man throughout the whole movie. It was hilarious. But after me and my girlfriend just rewatched all the Spider-Man, I might agree with Nigel that Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man.
Best Spider-Man or best Peter Parker?
Spider-Man.
Okay.
So the reason I'm going to say this, I just rewatched them all. He doesn't have the best movies. I'll say that. His movies aren't the greatest because I will say that Jamie Foxx might have had his worst acting performance in Spider-Man 2. He didn't do a good job in that movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. But he has the strongest villains in all the Spider-Man too. Like which one of these Spider-Man could fight Jamie Foxx's electric powers? That's his electric powers are OD.
I think Tom Holland could.
Huh?
Tom Holland could technically.
I mean, they all could.
I mean, I'm saying especially it would be easier for Tom Holland, I feel, especially with his suit and all that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying none of the other people Spider-Man have villains. Well, I guess Tom Holland did technically fight Thanos. Kind of. he didn't really fight Thanos. He was a gang in them.
But I get your point. I get the point.
When it comes to like one-on-one fights, Jamie Foxx's power is OD. He's an L at that point. Okay, my main point is Andrew Garfield had a perfect mixture of the witty Spider-Man is supposed to be. Like the one scene, he's like, "Oh no, a knife, my one weakness," and then yeah. he made the slick comments like Spider-Man does. He's like the kid-friendly Deadpool, and that's what Andrew Garfield embodied. Tom Holland is the childish Spider-Man, where he's just a kid type thing. So I get that, but Spider-Man was the witty, child-friendly kid Deadpool, and I think Andrew Garfield did it better. And not Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire didn't do that at all. He was just the first one.
Is he finished? Is he done?
Sorry.
What about Peter Parker though?
You're right. Who's the best
Peter Parker? Still not Toby. Toby's not the best Peter Parker. Toby's just too meek. Toby's real. I'm just Peter Parker. You know, he's real. Tobey Maguire whispers everything he says. I'm sorry. I just rewatched all of the Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1 through 3 for Tobey Maguire. I watched both of the Amazing Spider-Mans with Andrew Garfield and then the new ones. The Tobey Maguire is supposed to be the nerd, smart guy, kind of geeky type thing. I think Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland both do that better. So I'm gonna put. It hurts me to say this, but Tobey is to embody the character. Did the worst job. Tobey Maguire's the better actor. He's the better actor. Just doesn't embody Spider-Man best, or Peter Parker.
Right. Who's the best Peter Parker?
I think Tom Holland might be the best Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield is the better Spider-Man.
All right. Well, I just want to say that Kenny's whole argument was basically cutting down Tobey Maguire and saying he wasn't.
I love him. It hurts for me to do this, but just watching them all like now is like, dang, this his edition of Spider-Man is not Spider-Man.
So I also want to say that something that is not uncommon on this show, my disagreement with Kenny, Kenny's take sucks just because he cut down Tobey Maguire. Kenny, F you and everything you stand.
I love Tobey. I'm sorry.
Everything you stand for.
Carlo, be realistic. Be honest. Don't take nostalgia out of it. Take respect for Tobey out of it. Is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
Mamba, I'm gonna repeat what I said. Everything he stands for, F him.
Watch, we're gonna make you admit it now.
Refuse to answer your question because I'm gonna answer my host question first.
Okay. Fair enough.
So best Spider-Man. I'm gonna say best Spider-Man. I'm gonna definitely go with Tom Holland. Tom Holland definitely embodies a Spider-Man because everything about Spider-Man, Tom Holland is just his nature to just talk like out of his ass. Like he literally talks without thinking. Like one of the smartest dudes, talks without thinking while he's in his Spider-Man suit, makes jokes. He literally, while he's fighting, he's asking questions to the villains or to his comrades. Like that, as far as like what Spider-Man embodies and what it's embodied in the past and the comics and everything, Tom Holland's Spider-Man to me is the best Spider-Man. And Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man ain't go against Thanos. That man was ready to do some work. Hey, yeah, that man was ready to do some work, Kenny. That man
didn't have the opportunity to go against
Tom
Thanos.
Holland went to space. Tom Holland died and came back alive. Ain't no other Spider-Man do that in the movies.
They didn't get the opportunity to. They didn't write the movie.
I understand, but look, they was weak. They was weak. They was light.
Okay,
That's why.
How about this? Tom Holland never fought Green Goblin before until now.
Okay, he fought Green Goblin and Thanos, and Toby can't say that.
But you said Tom Holland was better than all of them before he fought Green Goblin.
Facts. And then he just had to kick Green Goblin's ass just to show y'all again. Okay? All right, again, so my best Spider-Man, I'm going to definitely go Tom Holland. Best Peter Parker, Toby, for sure. That was the original Peter Parker. That was the original geek. That was the original Daily Bugle journalist. He was a Daily Bugle journalist. He was a geek. He worked in a lab, and he was again, he's the only Spider-Man that has that upside down scene where he kissing Mary Jane on the mouth. They was tonguing him down upside down, you feel me? But yeah, basically, best Tobey Maguire, I'm gonna give that to Toby. Best Spider-Man, I'm gonna give it to Tom Holland. I I'm not all the way against Andrew Garfield. I actually enjoyed, like, a lot of people don't like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. I liked his movies. One of the most trauma in all of cinema, not just superhero movies, in all movies. One of the most traumatizing experiences for me, no matter what, is when he let his Mary Jane. He didn't get to save her. That one,
He tried,
bro. And I understand he tried. That's what I'm saying. That's why it was so traumatizing, because you when you first watch that movie, bro, you think that's Spider-Man. He's about to save her. Like, this is a dramatic fate, everything like that. No, bro. That she died. She died.
Yeah, bro.
I said, oh my God, that I couldn't, like. I don't think I've gone back and rewatched that movie more than twice because of that scene alone, bro. Because, like, you know how certain scenes, like, in movies, like, you just can't rewatch because of certain scenes. That one's for me. That was a traumatic cinematic experience for me. I like how they redid it in the new movie where he was able to look. Let Zendaya die, bro. I promise you, it's over with for the whole Marvel universe. I'm going up there myself, and I'm Thanos, nigga. Let me snap one time. It's over with. It's over with. But again,
so you say you had Spider-Man,
Tom Holland, and then Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire.
Can I say something before we move on?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's another thing I did like about this movie. They all got to, like, correct their wrongs in this movie. Andrew Garfield got to save Zendaya, and Toby got to make sure Green Goblin didn't die again.
Facts. And then and what's the name? Also, what's the name? Kenny's earlier comment about them joking about Andrew Garfield. Bro, the funniest part about that is when they was trying to hype that man up, and he was like, "I'm just not as cool as y'all." And it was like, Toby was like, "No, bro, you're good. You're amazing."
Yeah.
He said, "Thank you, bro. I really needed to hear that, bro. I was weak as fuck with movies, bro, because people really be trying to hold him. Like, his movie's not as good as the other ones, but they're decent, bro. Like, I fuck with Andrew Garfield.
Bro, Jamie Foxx is usually a good actor, but he sold that movie, bro.
And I know I was looking crazy when you first said that, but now that I think about it,
he sold.
Yeah.
I think that was just out of his, like, that was very out of his element, if that makes sense. But I think that, so Carl, you'd be surprised to hear this, but I understand the point that you're making, Kenny, when it comes to Andrew Garfield, because I feel like, not just from this movie, but from, like, his movies, he's a real spider. Like, he crawls on people, webs you around, and all of that. Like, he's an actual spider. Like, he has a mechanism of a spider. But when I'm looking back as to who the best Spider-Man is, it has to be Tom Holland. Like, I understand that you're trying to make the argument with, like, what's his name? The Jamie Foxx is, like, the villain that he's playing, but I could see Tom Holland easily handling that. And I understand.
Easy?
Yes, he has more to. Yes, Tom Holland has a whole mecha suit, bro. He easily subdued Otto.
It was not easy. When he did, okay, so he beat.
It was easier than it would be for.
He's literally the Iron Spider, bro. He's literally Iron Man if he was Spider-Man, bro.
Doc Ock was doing it to Tom Holland, so he ripped his suit off. He didn't. If he hadn't ripped his suit off, who knows what would have happened to Tom at that point?
Again, he's going to have to rip his suit off to kill him. He's going to have to penetrate sometime to kill him. If he that was what happened to Dr. Ock was inevitable. Like how you just explained, because he ripped his suit off, that's what happened to him. If he penetrates anywhere in his suit, that's still going to happen. So is inevitable.
If I imagine a fight between Dr. Ock and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, that fight would have been more, I feel like, way different than the. Like, just by surprise, not knowing him.
You think Doc Ock is a harder opponent than Jamie Foxx's character?
No, but I'm saying by surprise, that's the thing with Spider-Man. All of these villains, it's like your villains. You're seeing some signs of them. Like, you've seen some encounter. They didn't try to kill you at first. And then, you got ready for it. But by surprise, somebody come in and it's like, oh, Spider-Man, I'm out for your neck. Bro, that's different. Like, Octopus just popped up out of nowhere. And then the Green Goblin. And then, come on. They were like, out for your neck. I'm out here to kill you. Like, Spider-Man, I'm out here to kill you. It's different. It's not like the
I feel like you don't get a pass because you just fought Thanos, so you should be well prepared to fight.
No, I'm not even acknowledging Thanos. Like, you remember Spider-Man fought, like, he fought the Civil War. You forget that when that man pulled up, he was fighting. He was throwing hands against these superheroes. like Tom Holland Spider-Man, like yes, you did get to see more of him, but also like he's proven a lot. Like that boy.
Are
is
we
strong.
talking about the things that they have done as Spider-Man, or how do they body their characters? I'm talking about how they
No,
body.
I'm saying overall, they're built. When I'm seeing that they're built and how they're made right now,
Okay,
you just can't argue that.
we're talking feats. Of course, I'm gonna go Tom Holland. He's done more stuff, but if we're talking about who
No, I'm not
embodies
even talking
the
about feet.
character
I'm
of
talking
Spider-Man,
about just Spider-Man in himself, embodiment. Tom Holland, he doesn't. Did you see the behind the scenes of that guy? Like he doesn't. You don't even need like a stunt double.
Oh yeah, that man
is
is
natural for him.
okay,
that's American Jackie Chan.
All of their Spider-Man do crazy stunts and do stuff like that. I'm talking about who embodies him on a personality level.
Tom Holland. He's
Tom
goofy
Holland
as shit.
isn't nearly as witty.
The only thing that you
that's
can say
the
about
wittiest
Andrew
one out of all of them, for real.
The only thing that you can say that Andrew Garfield has that they don't, he's more like animated. Like when it comes to like his body expression, like when he's acting, like the nigga is using his hand, his ass, his body, everything is just like his expression. That's how Spidey is in the comics.
You ain't gonna throw no pause on that, Bumble?
You say what?
You ain't gonna throw no pause on that?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying Andrew Garfield's way better than Tom Holland. I just think, like I said, Tom Holland's Spider-Man isn't as witty. He's too much of a kid for me as Spider-Man.
That's fair. But I think that Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man, and I think that the best Spider-Man is the best Peter Parker too. I'll give it to him.
Who's number 2? You got to rank them. You didn't do no ranks. You only did number 1.
Oh, you want okay? So Spider-Man, I would have to do Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire. No, not Tobey Maguire. I'm gonna do Andrew Garfield.
Come on, Tobey is not Spider-Man for real.
Yeah. No, as Spider-Man, yeah. As Spider-Man, yes. As Peter Parker, I'm gonna do Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and then Andrew Garfield.
Y'all are really.
For the sake of time, I'm gonna move on to my next point. So I know that at one point during the movie, y'all saw like when Doctor Strange basically had to stop these beings from coming into, like, I guess Tom Holland's reality, if that makes sense. So, one TikToker by the name of Kevin Moran Rob, I hope I'm saying it right. He said he basically guessed the villains that we almost saw come through, and it would have been a different story. So one of them is Mysterio.
Again?
And then supposedly the Rhino, Black Cat, Scorpion, Kraven the Hunter, and for the last one, Carly, I sent you a picture. Do you mind reading that for us?
I'm gonna read it, but don't think you escaped from that point that you just made earlier. You cut me off. It's fine. It's all right. It's your segment, bro. But you know, I'm gonna read it, bro. But just know I'm on your ass, bro. Because that
feel free to address it. Go ahead.
That's ridiculous. So, what I've been sent from Bamba, Superior Spider-Man is the title.
Yes.
During the 2010s, there was a period in the main Marvel Comics universe when Dr. Octopus took over Peter Parker's body, but rather than resume his villainous ways, he carried on the web-slinging mantle. Believing he could do a better job at crime fighting than Peter did, Otto christened himself the Superior Spider-Man and delivered a more ruthless form of justice. So while Alfred Molina's Otto Octavius was his usual four-tentacled self, evidently there's a version of him in the multiverse that ended up becoming Spider-Man, whether that was through the same method his comics counterpart did or some other way.
All right, thank you so much. So the reason why I wanted to give his background is I feel like we know most of these villains, or we've seen them at some point, but Superior Spider-Man is really the one that's still in the manga. I don't think he's been animated yet.
In the manga?
Really, huh?
In the manga?
Yeah, in the comic book. My bad. You know,
stop being picky, Kenny.
My bad. But my question is, in your opinion, who would have been a bigger threat had they made it through like that barrier? Based off your knowledge.
I don't know nothing about no Superior Spider-Man. I don't know who that is.
I just gave you the I mean, listen,
I just read the whole thing.
No, but I don't know what you can do.
You know how Spider-Man is, like his strength and stiff and that stuff. Just imagine him without holding back and not hesitating when it comes to killing.
So Doc Ock in a Spider-Man suit.
In a Spider-Man suit with Spider-Man ability, he can do everything Spider-Man does at a better rate, and he doesn't stop at like he won't spare you. He's literally the superior Spider-Man.
Okay, remind me. Okay, I gotta look up what I can't remember what Craven looked like.
Craven the Hunter. He has a cheetah. Like he be wearing.
Oh,
cheetah
that dude,
or,
that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that. I used to watch the old Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah.
He's not really a threat for real. He's not a big threat. I'm not giving it to Craven. I think Green Goblin's a bigger threat than Craven is, personally. Well, if I have my options are Rhino, Craven, and who else? Black Cat, Superior
Black
Spider-Man.
Cat, Mysterio, Scorpion.
It's got to be Superior Spider-Man at that point. That's the biggest threat because Rhino is just a weaker juggernaut. Scorpion is and Black Cat is just another Catwoman, but she's not a huge threat. It's got to be Doc Ock in the Spider-Man suit.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be a fire ass movie, bro.
Superior
Spider-Man. What I just read, bro, that's basically the Vengeance in the Spider-Man suit, bro. That's literally it. That's literally it. I would love to see Doc Ock beat villains to the edge of their life, bro. Like that's just, but I'm also, a dark-minded kind of person, bro. So, Superior Spider-Man sound lit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's gonna be my Halloween costume. Catch me 10/31/2022. Y'all wanna do a show on that day and dress up as superhero? Hey, no, but yeah, I'm a Superior Spider-Man's that nigga, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So Superior Spider-Man is Dr. Octavius?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm about to go. Because from the suit, it just looks like Tom Holland's suit that he got now that can put the Spider-Man arms out.
It is like Peter Parker's body.
Octavius, after Peter Parker died. How does he get Peter's... So Peter Parker dies. How does he get his powers, though?
He basically took over his mind, if that makes sense. Like, they had a mental battle, and Peter lost.
So he took over his mind. Okay. All right. I mean, because Rhino's just a weaker juggernaut. Scorpion, I don't know too much about him, but he's not that much of a threat compared to Superior Spider-Man. Black Cat is just Catwoman. No. And like I said, what's the guy, the hunter? What's his name? Craven is not even touching fucking Green Goblin. So yeah, I gotta go Superior Spider-Man.
I think I would either go Rhino or Superior Spider-Man. Obviously, like just any Spider-Man would have, like as a villain, would have been an issue. But I wanted to end this on two theories that I've seen online that have piqued my interest. The first one was supposedly Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, like what he was alluding to when he said that at some point he stopped holding his punches was that he started killing niggas. And apparently, like the next Spider-Man movie might be a little darker. Now, how y'all feel about that? Vengeance.
I'm excited. And that's what, like, Tom Holland's such a good actor, bro. But imagine like the performance he could put on to because again, Tom Holland isn't a dark dude. Like that's not his personality.
But he wouldn't be Tom Holland. It would be Andrew Garfield.
It would be as the darker Spider-Man.
Like he stopped pulling his punches after one night.
Oh hell yeah, Andrew Garfield. Like even like Andrew Garfield, not a dark dude either. Like bro, that's like, as an actor, as somebody outside of Spider-Man movies, like that's not somebody you can see. Like you wouldn't think he could pull off that type of role. But going into that deep as a darker Spider-Man, bro. #Vengeance Spider-Man, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Like I would pay an arm, a leg, and then Kenny's arm and legs too to see that movie, bro. I promise you.
I'm glad I'm keeping mine.
I would sell everything Kenny owned just to see that movie.
I would love that.
I don't understand why I'm being involved in this.
Don't worry about it, Kenny. I can't sell everything I own. I'm broke.
Common sense. Come on.
I'm still broke. But go on, Bamba. But yeah, that's my take.
What'd you think, Kenny? What's your take on that?
I feel like to me, Andrew Garfield has the darkest Spider-Man story so far, so it makes sense.
That hurts, bro.
What?
It just, again, like you said, he really does have the darker Spider-Man movie. Everybody's Mary Jane's alive except for his. It's tough.
And he had to watch it. Like, oh.
That's what I'm saying. They over there, you know, and they own Mary Jane's guts, and he over there just single.
Well, Tom Holland isn't, so.
He will be soon, though. Just let the memory go. But go on.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense. I wish if they're gonna go the dark route, I wish they would have at the end of. I don't know if y'all watched the ending credits. I hope y'all watched the ending credits. So I wish they would have waited to do that in a Tom Holland movie, or not Tom Holland, no, movie if they're gonna make him the darker version. Because then it would make sense that the symbiote found its way to his universe and played on his darkness.
That brings me to my next theory, Kenny. Thank you so much for bringing us here. Because, you see, like a few months ago, before the No Way Home movie came about, and this is like a theory as to what's coming, like what's about to come. And I just feel like this makes sense. And it's that because of that credit that I really started to think about it. So I had seen a comic about the Red Goblin. And I was like, what is the Red Goblin? And really his backstory is simply that it's Osborn. And he was like turned into the Green Goblin and at some point was cured. But he missed that feeling, you know, like the rage that came with being the Green Goblin, but he didn't really like losing his control too, because you know how the Green Goblin basically just bullies the shit out of him. And then like he basically came in contact with the symbiote, like a little piece of it. And using that, he was able to basically remove that green agent that was really driving him crazy. And he was left with a red agent. And he was able to combine that with the symbiote, giving him basically the Green Goblin, which is Osborn controlling himself, and he has the green suit. And basically that nigga goes on to terrorize the fuck out of Spider-Man, all kinds of fucking villains.
I thought Red Goblin is Green Goblin with Carnage, the red symbiote on him.
No, I mean he gets, I don't know which symbiote he has, but he gets in contact with the symbiote and he uses it.
It's the red symbiote.
Okay.
It's the same one as Carnage.
Whatever it is, it sounds tough, and I would love to see it terrorize humanity. I love it. I'm sorry, guys. Go on.
What is wrong with this?
I'm sorry, guys. Go on.
I was just gonna ask which theory y'all rather see, but apparently that's what he likes.
All likes death and destruction, apparently.
I do.
So you rather see that over the Andrew Garfield potentially?
I mean.
Because I'm saying from the Red Goblin, one thing is for sure, you're not winning.
Oh, facts. Oh, for sure. It's just like, okay, let me say this. So if anybody that's watching this that doesn't know, I love my heroes, I do, but I'm more of an anime fan. I mean, a villain fan than anything else. Like a good villain is perfection to me. So that just. A Red Goblin, like I think I would definitely take that over Andrew Garfield. I would definitely, like Kenny said earlier, death and destruction in a movie, just on that scale. That just sounds.
He just said it was hard to watch Mary Jane die, but now he's Mr. Death and Destruction.
But like again, that was something that's different. Kenny, that's different, bro. Like,
right, it's just something about the way she hit her head.
That's trauma. That's cinematically traumatizing, not just a superhero. That's overall traumatizing. But yeah, death and destruction, terrorists, terrorization, dictatorships, Yeah, I want to see that in the cinematic universe and the superhero universe, Marvel universe. We need more villain main character movies. I'm tired of the happy go lucky. I'm tired of the happy endings. No, somebody needs to destroy the earth now, right now.
You didn't
Yeah,
just
right.
Thanos wasn't just like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
But again, if I could rewrite the movie, I would have Thanos snap twice, and that'd be it.
Kenny, what you think before I end this segment? I'm tired of this, man. You got issues?
I think both, honestly. I feel like Venom has to come first to like introduce symbiotes to Marvel, because we got it already, but that's what Sony, Tobey Maguire, he was with Sony still when Spider-Man 3 came out. So that's when we first got our first taste of I just said his name.
The symbiotes, Venom.
Yeah, that was our first taste of Venom, but it wasn't really Venom.
Yeah.
So that was our first taste of Venom. I think we need to get Venom first before we get the Red Symbiote and having Carnage come through. Carnage is on a whole nother level. Some shit. So yeah, I think it should be the Andrew Garfield first, and then.
Yeah, I definitely want to see the Andrew Garfield first one.
I'm confused how they're gonna get Green Goblin in his universe though, because his universe doesn't have a Green Goblin, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Wait, what do you mean by a Green Goblin?
So Red Goblin is Green Goblin.
But that would be Tom Holland's universe. Like
no, that's not even Tom Holland's. Tom Holland doesn't have a Green Goblin either.
No, but he met the Green Goblin. I mean,
they sent them back to his universe.
It would have to be Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, so none of them have Green Goblin, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah, I would still be down to see Tobey Maguire's. Because he already has Venom in his universe.
He's too old now. I've seen him in that movie all old as Spider-Man.
Yeah, that nigga's older.
This man is retired. Get him out of here.
Hey, but I'm not about to bash one of my favorite actors, man. That's all I had for the media and entertainment segment. And we'll just see you guys next week for more content.